Gear and Guitars with Mel. I am Mel. What we're going to get into today is going to be, I don't want to call it a shootout, because I don't know, after getting ready for this video and playing both of these guitars, there are some distinct similarities, but also some differences. So what we're going to be checking out today is a modded, but albeit half original Harley Benton TE80NT. It's obviously been modded into a Madcat, and I actually think me doing that brings it a little closer in some tonal ranges in comparison to the other one we're doing today. And this is the Squier 50s Classic Vibe, and it is stock with the exception of this nice tortoiseshell pickguard, just because you know, the black and blonde, it's got a good look, but I just wanted something a little softer, I think. So what we're going to do, since these are my Teles, I've gotten rid of all my other Teles, these are the only ones I have left. What we're going to do is we're going to run through some tones, we're going to run through some drives. I'll tell you that what I'm running right now is a Bugera V55 with a Turbo Sound 12-inch in it. Nice big cab, really nice amp. 6L6, it's good loaded tube amp. Really crisp cleans. I cream them up with my exotic pedals. I have a SP compressor and an EP booster that I run through 100% of the time. I don't even know, if I'm being honest, because I'm so attached to the sound that I get from these pedals, I don't think I remember what my Bugera sounds like on its own, because with these pedals it's the perfect clean for me, and the perfect precursor to set up the rest of my board. I'll be running today an MXR carbon copy delay. I might do a little bit with an MXR chorus, but I also have the OCD by Full Tone for my drive, and I'm going to do maybe a couple of little bits of crunch off the amp itself. But it's more about these guitars, you know. So we're obviously starting out. We're going to get some tones off the Harley Benton, my HB Madcat, as it were. Through each pickup, these are GFS Niven pickups. So, you know, there's just a lot of really good usable tones out of this guitar. So, a real quick rundown. You got a flame maple book batch top, okay, walnut strip that goes all the way through, okay. ash body, swamp ash. Okay, Canadian rock maple neck, and a Canadian maple fingerboard. The fingerboard slash fretboard slash top of the neck here is just that. It's a piece of fretboard that's glued on. So technically, it's a two-piece neck. But I tell you, man, it feels great. It's got a big C profile. And when I say big, I mean, so it fills your hand like the old Fenders. You know, it's not fat in that way that Gibson necks can be, you know, when they're vintage and stuff like that. But it's a lot in the hand. Makes for some killer sustain. Takes the OCD really well. That's proven to be my chosen pedal for my single coils. When I put my Les Pauls through it and stuff, it gets a little thicker in tone, but I think for these, especially for these Teles, and I tell you know, it's got some other tonal helpers going on. We got the Graphtec string savers on it. Running D'Addario on my XLs. Pretty much my preferred string at the moment, though I bounce back and forth between those and the Ernie Ball hybrid slinkies. Big fan of those too. But in the case of both these guitars, you know, they both have Tele shapes, you know, one being a true Tele, one being a mock-up. This is, I would say, the same thickness. You're looking at it almost 2-inch body. They're wide, you know, and they have some great tone. What else can I tell you about this one here? Satin finish on the neck, and no gloss on the fingerboard, as it were, either. It's just a satin finish all around, which feels good. So it's got a little over a 13.5-inch radius on the fingerboard. So what that does is it gives it a feeling of being a faster neck, even though it's thick. Not faster than that guitar. I'm saying for a thick neck guitar, it feels pretty fast. And I would say that part of that is the fact that you have basically a 1.7-inch nut width. You know, this is a pretty wide neck for a T-type Tele guitar. So yeah, you know, that's your hopped up Harley Benton TE80NT. I had a lot of pride in this guitar, put a lot of work into it, and it came out great. It's got the locking tuners, Fender locking tuners on it. I didn't do anything to the body. GFS, Neovan pickups, and a quick plug system. You know, changed out the aesthetics so it'll look like a Madcat, but the core of the guitar was there. I didn't have to do anything to make it play better. It plays great. And I think that to not be too much of a commercial for Harley Benton, if you're looking for something like this, it's not a bad way to go at all. I mean, it's a great guitar. You know, I got this as a B stock because there's a couple of little cloudy spots I've noticed in the binding. Looks like in the poly coat. Wah. I'm not going to cry about it. This guitar cost me less than $200. I think, I'm going to say it was maybe 120 bucks because it was a B stock. It was not very much. I was very happy. You know, and it's even at regular price or $100 more than regular price, it's a great guitar. Okay, so let's, halt whilst I swap out guitars. Now, instantly grabbing this guitar, it's a crap ton lighter. And this isn't necessarily an overly light guitar. I will say that the Benton's got some weight to it. I've yet to put it on a scale, but it feels to be pretty close to the same weight as one of my Les Pauls. So, okay, so what you got here is your Classic Vibe 50s Telecaster. And I would be remiss if I did not state that this is one of my favorite guitars. And I never would have thought that I play a lot of rock. You know, you guys hear me play a lot of bluesy type riffs and stuff like that. But I think because to my ear, it shows the tone better when you're playing the you can hear the charismatic little bits and bends and notes and stuff better when you have like a little bit of drive, you know, but it's nice and loud and clear, especially coming through a tube amp. And you know, I grew up playing a lot of metal, and I probably didn't have enough appreciation for single coil guitars. But when I got this guitar, and I've had this longer than I've had that Benton. I've had this one for a while, and I actually got it, if I'm being honest, because I watched a video, and it was Anderton's video with Chappers and the Captain, and they were doing the Classic Vibe guitars, and watching somebody like Rob Chapman have that much of an affinity and like for the feel of play of a guitar like this, I was like, all right, well, I can afford that. I was working at a guitar place at the time, you know what I mean, so I got a little discount. It's one of the few good purchases I made. And I got it thinking, kind of like the Benton, like, hey, I'm going to get it, I'm going to do all this stuff to it. I changed the scratch plate, that's it. So, Classic Vibe, 50s Tele. What you're getting is a bare bones guitar that I think actually holds up to what you would have got without question in 1950. What you do have, though, when you look at the back grain, it appears to have that ash type grain. It's actually a pine body. And there were some pine body guitars, you know, they make guitars out of everything over the years. But, so you got a pine body, a one-piece maple neck, true one-piece maple neck, which means the skunk stripe actually got used. It's not just there for show. I haven't changed anything hardware-wise. You still got your old Fender vintage style tuners, which are good. You know, they hold tunes, good guitar. You got the 3-barrel saddle ashtray bridge, a little dust. 250K pots. These are actually vintage voice, vintage style Alnico 5s. So what you get actually, that has the Neovins in it, the Benton, and before that it had a set of the Wilkinson Alnico Vintage, which, you know, they have some output, but these are high output for Strat pickups. This actually kicks harder than my Strats. Is a rock and roll guitar. And what I will say, and it's my opinion, but it seems to me that this actually lends itself a little more to rock and hard rock. It can do anything. This guitar, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this one. This is... it's so punchy, the Alnico 5s are really, you can hear that they're pretty bright, but in a in a pleasing way. I don't know how that comes across on the camera, but in the room, you know, it's sharp, but it's not awful. And this right here, the neck position on this guitar wins the world. It's awesome. So I would say in differences in feel, you're looking at feels like a Tele, is a Tele. Listen, there's nothing about this guitar that is not Telecaster. All right, I've played, as I said in the video that I did for this alone, I played a fair amount of Mexican Teles, and there's nothing wrong with them. I think every Classic Vibe I've played is better. The finishes are usually insanely great. I have happened to got myself the one that had a wonky finish, and it's because of these two pieces right here on the end, and I dig it because they, oh man, it's original and it's mine, and I know it's mine. These are, you know what I'm saying, straight up Telecasters. Now I will say, as far as the Benton goes, Tele-like, but not truly a Telecaster. Now, obviously, you know, on the obvious, you have the Tele bridge pickup that has that nice brass plate, and you have that nice lipstick that's actually mounted to the body. I know it looks like it's screwed to through the plate, but that's because I didn't like the holes in the scratch plate, so I just put a couple screws there. It's actually hard mounted to the body. And then you got this, you have Strat size pickups on this, so that's inherently going to give you a completely different tone, which it does. You cannot get the tones that you can get on this guitar on this guitar. And I would say kind of vice versa, but not really. This reaches this a lot easier. I think people underestimate the tonality of a Telecaster. You know, a proper Telecaster does. Listen to that first Zeppelin album. You know what I mean? You can say what you want about the band and their inspirations, appropriations, or what have you, but listen to that guitar tone on that album. You know, that first Zeppelin album was all on a butterscotch frickin' Tele that, you know, Page went and made up and painted dragons on and all that stuff, but it was still just a Tele. You know, you listen to some of those Springsteen albums that have that really killer rock tone, or anything Keith Richards has ever played. You know, a Tele's a Tele. This, I will say, does things like, because of the thickness of the neck and because of the width, you know, you can play these chords that ring out in such a sustaining way that it makes up for the fact, because I don't think this guitar is trying to be a Telecaster. Just on the back of having single coils in it, then you're into different territory. You know, them Strat single coils are a completely different monster. Lower output than a Tele pickup, and softer. Probably doesn't quite cut through the mix as good as these do. I think your average Tele gets a pretty bad rap. And it did by me too. When I looked at this, I was like, yeah, that's what Bruce Springsteen plays, and though he's great, I like Metallica, I could never play a guitar like that. It's just not for me. Then you see, like, who is it there, Jim Root? Did he have one? Pretty sure he's got one. John 5. You know, you see these Tele guys out there, and it's like, oh, hold on, let's revisit. And I think that's happened. You're seeing a lot more people playing them. Hence Fender doing the Squier Classic Vibe series. And I don't know, maybe regretting it, because I would have to assume that the sales on the Mexicans dropped. Though, it is very important for people sometimes that headstock say Fender instead of saying Squier. You know, me, I couldn't care. If the guitar feels good, I'm going to rock it out. So, I'm going to give you some some little more tones out of this before we end the video out. I'd like to thank you guys for sticking around. I know it's been probably a couple weeks since I posted, but you know, transitions, things are happening. Acquired a lot more pedals than I
This is just the
intended
stuff that's
on.
coming this week. So, you know, we got some Saturn Works stuff over there, some Joyo. I got a Moore pitch box, which I'm excited about. New volume pedal.
Yeah, we're getting to it. We're gonna get everything in line now. Still want to bring you that drive video, the drive pedal video, which I think will be what comes next, because I think that'll be the easiest thing for me to do whilst waiting for my pedal board to rock out. It seems my designer, it seems that my board's going through more R&D. He just wants to go all out, so he's going to do me something simplistic in the meantime, which is pretty wicked. I'm getting a loaner pedal board while he designs my custom pedal board. I'll take it. So, again, thanks for hanging out. Man, tell your friends, share it, like it, ask me questions, ask me to do stuff. I like being involved with you guys. I like having the conversations with those of you that I do. It makes me happy. So get at me, man. And until next time, thank you for checking out Gear and Guitars with Mel. I am Mel. Like, share, subscribe, comment, troll. Do your thing. Hear all those clicks? That's why I'm changing over to a pedal switcher. Thanks for checking out Gear Guitars with Mel.